Okay, so I'm just going to do some shadow mapping exercises here. And one thing I do love about this program is its oval tool. You guys saw how hard it was to make ovals. And here we've got a fancy little tool. Although getting it, like, there's no shift, which is kind of stupid. So I'm just, there should be a degree. Oh, it's off the screen. Hold on here. There we go. So you see down below it's telling me the degree, so I want 0. All right. So let's do a cylinder kind of like we did. And this would also be nice if they had a shift key here too. Actually, let's get rid of this. And I'm just faking this, so I'm making it slightly smaller on the top because the ellipses change in degree. And again, just kind of eyeballing this, but in the interest of speed. So there's this. Let's just go back to this. Okay, so this green line is the axis of my cylinder. And I want to do this. We're going to make it the shadow falling on another cylinder that's on its side. Again, I'm going to fake this. Let's make it a little smaller. About okay, so here's 2 cylinders. And I want to make a shadow, and I'll change my color. I'm going to make a shadow that runs up and over that. So first off, I'm going to do my parallel shadow technique. So I'm just going to go horizontal here. And in this case, like I said, when you do this, you go up the wall. Well, this is a cylinder. So what I need to find is the, like leaning on the lights. And again, I'm just going to go to freehanding this because it'll go faster. But so I need to find the ground point here, which is, it's not quite right. Do you want those? Sorry. So there's a point where this is resting on the ground, which is tangent to here. This is the point where this cylinder is resting on the ground. So I'm just doing this freehand now. And so if I follow that ellipse around, if I bring this line all the way to this and then wrap the same ellipse up and over, up and over. It's not quite right. Up and over. And now these lines, so here's the center line. And let's get a nice angle. So let's say the center line hits this. So it goes along the base, hits the base where this is hitting the ground, and then I'm rolling up and over. And where the light direction hits the shadow base, I got my first point. Now let's find the side points. Well, let's do a couple more. Again, like I was saying, you can do them anywhere along here. I'm just going to make some more flagpoles. So this one's going to go down to my base and then wrap up and around. And my light direction comes down. This is interesting. It's coming forward. Let's do another one over here. Oh, because you know what? This is the center point. That's what's going on. Let's find this edge up here. And I'll change the color on this one. Well, let's do something. Where's my color palette? Let's pick a light blue. Make these a little thicker. All right, so this is the center, goes up and around. And now what I'm actually trying to find is this front edge. So now I go over, and that's going to go off the drawing. Okay, so let's not worry about that one just yet. And I'm not sure, when I was telling you to extend things, I'm not sure how I'd extend that. So let's not even worry about that point. Let's back around the corner a little bit. So here's another flagpole, go all the way to the edge, wrap up and around, come down, and there's a point there. And I already did that one. Let's come around a little further. Let's go right at this edge. Come down. This one goes over, wraps up. Okay, so now I'm starting to build some points here. I've got that one, this one, this one. And then the other one's off the page, so I'm not going to get one there. So technically speaking, if this is the edge of the cylinder, the tangent to the cylinder, this is going to be a straight line, and it's going to wrap all the way up until it gets to this point, because that's the shadow of this whole edge, right? And then that's right where this curve is going to start. And let's put another another blue one right there. So you can see this takes a lot of time, but again, through observation and practice, you'll kind of be able to fake it because you'll know what's going to happen. So that goes down to there. That rolls up and around to here. So now this is going to start to wrap up, but it's going to go over the edge, it looks like. Let's do the other side. Let's do those in green. So all the way up to here. In, wrap up and around. Over there. So that's not quite the full tangent. A little bit further over would be the back side. So that is just a little bit further around, so there's a point there and there. 1, 2. And probably can get like one more before I run off the edge again. So let's try this one right there. Yeah. Is it that one? Yeah. So I can see it's kind of wrapping up this way, and then it's probably going to go off the edge, and then this looks like it's curving, and oh, this is the edge. Oops. So in this case, let's my layers are. I'm just going to, again, freehand this a little bit. So I got this. This is really sloppy. All right, so here's my shadow. Goes up and then starts to curve around. That goes over there. This. So let's do some airbrush shading on this. Yeah. So So this would be my core, and then it would get a little lighter as I go around. This whole shadow will probably be pretty close to an even tone running all the way through it. But it might be a little bit lighter up here just from reflected light again. Like even the shadow might get a little bit of a... And this part, we'll just pick a color and dump it in there. And in this program, what I do mostly is I just airbrush and then erase. So I would do that in another layer. Okay, so that's a cylinder casting a shadow on another cylinder. Let's do the sphere again real quick.
Shall we worry about that point that we are missing when it goes all the way above the surface there?
Yeah, I just mapped to the points that actually I could get on there. That probably would go all the way down. I should map it out on the ground as well. In fact, let's do that real quick. So let's turn the shadow off for a second, because there may be a little peak of it sticking out. So in this case, I'm going to use my oval tool. Okay, so I set that up to the exact same oval, and in this case, I've got my direction, which is, I'm going to use my straight edge. So there's the peak, and then like that direction. Here's the center. Yeah, so this is the center has moved over to this point. So now if I go back and grab this oval, move the center to there, yeah, I would see some shadow over here. Now, again, this edge, I'm a little bit off. That edge should tangent over to here, and there's a tangent point there. And so that would all be shaded as well. Something like that. It doesn't seem quite right, but...
Now we're only casting...
Oh, I know why. Yeah, because we didn't cast the shadow of this other object. Yes. Right, so we got to do that. That's the problem. All right, so how do I cast the shadow of this guy going off in that direction? Let's... I'm trying to find the point again where it's resting on the ground, which looks like it's about there. And so I'm going to map that point, and then let's turn off the shadows. Let's pick a new layer, and we'll go purple. All right, so we got this ellipse, and we're going to work on that first. So I've got a point where it's resting on the ground, which is somewhere about there. Project that off, and got the top, and we've got a long angle over to here. And then I'm going to find another point, and I think the if I put a square around this, it would be about like this, right? So I'm going to find these 2 points. So going off. All right, so I've got this point, this point, that point, and this point. I should be able to just fit an oval in there. Let's try that. And then this edge here, we'll do in green. This is the tangent point, so I'm going to go down to the ground, over. Oops. Yeah, so that's actually tangent to this. And then this shadow line should be parallel, just happen to line up with that other one. That should be parallel to this one, going to the same vanishing point, to that edge, because that's the edge. So now let's go back into our final drawing. We'll turn this down a little bit. And what I've got is, oops, sorry, got my, so this would be the shadow of, and actually tangent right there too. This is the shadow of this guy, and then this was the shadow of the other cylinder coming over the top of that. So, and I shouldn't have drawn that line in there, but it makes a kind of funny little shape. But oops. Low battery. All right, so does everybody kind of buy that? Does that seem like it's going to work? All right. I'm going to stop this for a minute and